subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's get him over I know he's already over the 100 mark, but let's get him over even more. And I need y'all to do the same thing for me. Come on now. Y'all holding
Facts.
back. I only got 15. And y'all be in there liking the TikToks and liking the tweets and following, but I need y'all to go hit that link in the bio and my Twitter bio and go subscribe and do the same thing for my boy AP. I'll be dropping his at here in a second as well.
Huge facts. My apologies for all y'all who are joining back again for a third time now.
Yeah.
Third time is the charm, right? Like, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try, try again.
Yep.
So, we are going to keep trying to get this right until we do, and it sounds like we have. So, I
Hey,
appreciate the patience that you guys are displaying for us as we are trying to get this thing off the ground and rolling right now. And to piggyback off what Austin said, thank y'all so very much for tuning in, chatting with us, for engaging with the streams and following us on Twitter and on YouTube. But we need more work to be done. We don't just need y'all to press the button. We need y'all to comment and then share it and send it to people who would enjoy this content. Y'all know who likes college football, college baseball, college athletics, who loves Louisiana, who loves culture, community. Like, we got a little bit of everything for everybody, you know? It's not just all sports all the time. And we spent the first 15 minutes of the show waxing poetically about our servicemen and women, about king cake and Mardi Gras, right? Like, we hadn't even talked about sports yet. So do us both a favor, like, comment, share, all right? And most importantly, press the button to subscribe. So that way you cannot miss out on the things that we are doing and the things that we have going on over here. Austin, I think we got it right.
I
And
gotta
Austin's
unmute on both. No, I'm here. I'm here. I think we got it right, brother. I think we good. We good.
Austin is definitely enjoying
My
his
king
king
cake.
cake
Listen, man.
for the
Listen, man.
season.
Gotta eat it. I
That's
made I made it.
that's a photogenic moment right there.
Mm-hmm.
No, you definitely
That's
have to
getting
enjoy.
clipped. That's messed up.
Like, crafted from your hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Absolutely, man.
man.
I definitely appreciate it. And I want to say real quick, thank y'all to everybody who's showing up on Twitter today for me. Like, 92 followers in a single day.
Yeah, this man surpassed me. Quit with the
I
quickness too.
don't know what happened.
Boy,
I,
listen.
you know, Somebody decided to throw some followers my way. So thank y'all, I guess, like, so much for whoever decided to turn the valve on and inspire y'all to press the button.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot thank you enough. It's absolutely phenomenal, and I appreciate the support. And I want you guys to know that more content is going to be coming. We're going to keep doing these team ups, and we're going to keep bringing smiles to all the faces that you guys have out here in this world. So Austin, we
What's
were
up, brother?
talking earlier about Mardi Gras,
Mm-hmm.
the cultural and community impacts that it has.
Yep.
How do you see LSU rolling off of Mardi Gras
Mm-hmm.
into baseball, into March Madness, into spring football? Right, like Mardi Gras is like the kickoff to the year. It's like the Louisiana year begins right at Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
So, how do you see LSU rolling off into the spring going forward? What kind of momentum do you think LSU has?
Um, honestly, brother, I think that we continue the momentum that we've seen, right? I think that you saw Easton Royal today working out with two LSU commits, right? Two LSU players. One of them that's or both of them, I think, that actually are on campus right now. Harlem Berry and Jabari Mack, right? Flip season is amongst us, right? There is there's no time to wait, right? Like our coaches are out there. Yeah, Lane Kiffin's on vacation with his family and Cookie Kiffin and his nephew and probably his brother and all this other stuff, but it doesn't mean that Kevin Smith and them aren't out there recruiting just because they ain't been tweeting about it. Doesn't mean that they're not having those phone calls and those other things going on. So I personally think that baseball will show us exactly how just great, and we'll be so engulfed in baseball. Women's basketball, yeah, they had a tough loss, one that I know that you predicted and we expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like, we don't stop. It doesn't stop just because Lane Kiffin's on vacation. It doesn't stop just because we have a day off from being, 3-0, 4-0 in our first week in college baseball. We're now 4-0, right?
Right.
And honestly, us being number two, it's blasphemy. But it is what it is. It's just we continuously get underestimated. They continue to not give us the credit that we deserve, culturally, and et cetera. And so we're just going to keep getting after it. But I predict us getting after it all off season long. Our team's crushing it from a strength and conditioning perspective. Using them boys, they're dragging. It's like dragging dead bodies across that field. I know I probably shouldn't say that on live, but they're out there bear crawling, flipping tires on the bikes and everything. So, um, championships never sleep, and championship winners never sleep either. So,
I'm sitting up here blowing kisses at my lovely wife because she's absolutely amazing, and she just
hey,
gave me
lovely
something that I
wife.
needed. Austin said, "Hey, lovely wife." She said, "Hey there, Austin."
Hey,
And I have
what's
my
up?
goofy half son crawling on the floor behind me trying to duck the camera. So yeah, you just got called out for being an idiot. The camera's gonna pick you up anyway. So thanks,
Yeah,
Khalid.
nice try.
Appreciate it. But
Nice try.
I do want to say shout out to Coach G, who's
Oh,
training the boys over at Goda because that. So I've talked to Coach G. Coach G is a really good guy. The
yeah,
training methods that he used are unorthodox. It's something that you haven't seen, like you don't typically see. He doesn't use a lot of weight. It's all about physical movement, body weight movement, and the training you get. I mean, fantastic results.
yeah,
When you look at this picture, Harlem Berry don't look like Harlem Berry. Like Harlem Berry looks swole. All right. And if Harlem Berry's in a lab with Coach G right now, expect amazing results. Expect this explosive results. Another thing too, if you see Harlem Berry training with Jabari Mack and Easton Royal, and if I'm Texas and I'm the coaching staff over there, I'm absolutely concerned, and you need to be.
yeah. You say,
You
"Oh shit"
think
when
that
you see that.
that commitment was good when Brian Kelly was here. But I have bad news for you, Steve Sarkisian. We have a new head coach. His name is Lane. I don't give a damn Kiffin. His name is Mister. I'm gonna steal your players,
Yeah,
Kiffin. Mister. I'm gonna lay down belt to ass on this recruiting trail, Kiffin. Mister. I'm locking down Louisiana Lane. All right, and when he sets his eyes on a recruit, he usually gets them. But not only that, he's able to utilize his recruiting prowess at a school that recruits itself.
yeah,
He told you as much. In the press conference following signing day, National Signing Day, he said, "Yeah, I met with Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson, but I didn't close them. LSU closed them. They didn't even have a position coach." That's the power of LSU. We saw the power of Lane Kiffin, Sam Levitt, Jordan Seaton, the wide receivers that he brought in, right? The offensive linemen, the running backs. He rebuilt this entire offense. I'm going to tell you right now, as Chip just said in the chat, I'm willing to say the same thing. I would be more surprised, Chip, if he doesn't come to LSU.
yeah. 100%.
He is going to end up at LSU because of what we just witnessed. You see Texas produce what? Name a notable wide receiver. Xavier Worthy?
Not a damn thing.
Oh, okay. Even in our down years, we have wide receivers that are killing it. Barry and Brown, even though I know a lot of people gonna claim Texas, cool. I mean, claim Kentucky. That's fine. Kentucky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
he
We
broke
took your
records
best.
at Kentucky.
We took
That's
one of
cool.
your best
But we
players.
still
Stop it.
snatched your soul. So
Stop it.
whatever. Aaron Anderson, homegrown.
Yep.
Chris Hilton will get drafted.
Yep.
You had in your down year, your 7-6 season, you're gonna have 3 wide receivers playing in the NFL, repping LSU. You've got 4 wide receivers that are considered in the top 10 best in the NFL, coming from LSU. You have wide receivers that set the standard
What's it?
for wide receivers across the league. Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Reuben Randall. Because they put those 3 letters on there across their head. Texas ain't got that.
No, not at all.
And what is he going to go to Texas and do? Pretend to win?
Like Decorian Moore. Oh, my bad. Too soon.
Like, come on, man. Eastern Royal knows exactly where his bread is going to be buttered. And I can understand why he would choose Texas over LSU before Lane Kiffin got here. Still close to home. You still have an offensive-minded coach
Right.
that you know is going to go out and recruit elite talent to support you, and you're going to be in a functioning offense. He wasn't sure he was going to get that at LSU. He didn't have those relationships. He didn't have that body of support behind him to tell him that that was there. Malik Neighbors was already here. Brian Thomas Jr. was already here in the boat, right? And shout out to Brian Kelly for helping get those guys to the next level, I guess. But they were going to be elite regardless.
And they got recruited before he was here.
That was, I said that before you jump back in. They were already here.
Yeah, they were already
They're
here.
already here. So you get a piece of credit for making sure that they were able to achieve the talent that we all expected them to achieve, I guess.
Not to mention, you didn't even recruit the quarterback who made them great in the first place.
So anyway, that's another story.
Man, come on.
But like, Eastern Royal is coming here, and I think honestly that aligns with my whole vision for today. The cultural implications surrounding this state are overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing people come together. And the fact that it came out that Eastern Royal is setting up his visit in a couple of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and you know he's going to be in Death Valley. Whether it be on an OV or on an unofficial, he's going to be at the Clemson game.
Right.
He's definitely going to come check out LSU versus Texas. So if I'm Texas, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be. And don't think that you just can walk in here and pluck any other recruits going forward. Lane locking down Louisiana Kiffin.
Yep.
We got a new sheriff in town, boys. My guy's got laser focus.
That's facts.
Quick trigger.
Killer instinct.
Dead-eye shooter. Don't piss him off. Don't cross him.
Yeah.
And now, he got the backing of an armory. He ain't rolling around on snipers no more.
No.
He's not Agent 47 in Hitman. My boy is Neo in the Matrix. He's got the whole squad coming behind him. He ain't rolling solo like that school in Oxford had him.
Nope.
And he's showing you that already. So if you think y'all were the only, because guess what? He already put y'all in the locker, right? Because coming out before Jordan Seaton even hit the portal, it was maybe LSU gets a visit from Jordan Seaton. It was Texas and Oregon.
And what happened?
Austin, would you do me a favor? Can you tell the people out there what school Jordan Seaton is currently enrolled in?
Go Tigers.
These three letters right here,
Talk to
LSU, they
him.
stand for Louisiana State University. Like we like to now affectionately refer it to as Lane State University.
And I'm gonna tell you something about Jordan Seaton too. Y'all must have forgot that he went back to Atlanta, just like our quarterback went to Tennessee. And guess what? Both places, yes, the quarterback had to go visit the school that's there. He's in town, right? But Jordan Seaton went to Atlanta. The coach who wanted him to come and visit at his school, Oregon, he never went. And what happened a day or two after? I think it was next day after what happened. Boys in the car, whipping it right to Baton Rouge. Y'all must have forgot
So
something, man.
if y'all think that it was all sweet, it was all
Shit ain't.
good just a week ago.
Yeah,
It
shit
was
ain't
all
sweet.
good before Lane showed up. The SEC is about to be put on notice, and I'm telling y'all right now, right here, on this stream tonight, I expect LSU to not lose no less than 2 games, no more than 2 games. I expect them to lose no more than 2 games. They will contend to compete in Atlanta for the SEC championship, and they will be a playoff team.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, oh well, sucks to suck,
Well, and
losers.
I'm gonna tell you this too. While we're talking about losers, Ole Miss. Hey, y'all thought y'all
School
was
in
slick
Oxford,
trying to fucking post excuse my language, post our attendance. We were at a 99% attendance with 100 and how many people can fit in that stadium?
108,000.
Right. And y'all are what, 64? Yeah, you had over 100% because you can't fit as many people as us. Yeah, we had people leaving games. Brian Kelly was our coach. Y'all
Let's
have Lane
do
Kiffin. Matter of fact, look at this.
the
This is why I
math.
even look at this. 44,000 people have requested season tickets. That is more. That is more. All that is 44,000 out of 64,000 that fit in your stadium.
So
Requested, not given. Requested.
let's do the math. 102,321 people times 0.99%. That means, on average, we had 101,297 people.
Try to tell y'all, man.
Mine is 68,000. You know what? I'm going to give y'all a little bit of grace. I'm going to say 69.
Yeah.
That is literally half. Take your stadium at full capacity and then add another half to it. Our 99% is still 1.5 times yours, school in Oxford. What up, Paul? Thanks for jumping
What
back
up,
in, man.
Paul?
I appreciate you being so consistent, bro. Thank you so much, man. As you can see, we got the audio issues fixed.
Yeah, they're
We got
done.
it all worked out. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
you for coming back. So yeah, school in Oxford, 1.5 times your capacity is our 99%.
Yeah.
Suck it, nerds.
Bro, and this is the thing too. Like I just watched a video. I got so pissed driving home. This is the depiction of a SEC school, and they put Ole Miss as number 3 in the country as one of the best schools to visit in regards to games, atmosphere, everything. I was like, all right, bro. So you want to talk about boys in Sperry's and girls in dresses. That is the most. Oh my god! Don't even get me started. I had dudes I went to school with wearing hair ties and backwards polo hats with socks, Nike socks, and Sperry's, trying to talk crazy about Ole Miss. Get out of here. Keep your butt in North Georgia. Keep your rich mamas. Get your daddy's credit card and go buy something. Because like somebody on one of their shows in one of my favorite shows, my father works at Goldman Sachs.
My
Yeah,
father
we know.
works at
But guess what?
Goldman
You
Sachs.
ain't worth a damn. And you might go to a school that's a good fraternity school that likes killing trees with toilet paper, but there ain't no culture in that. Y'all are
Nope.
just a washed up, dirty version of what you thought you could be, and it's not LSU. So stop talking crazy.
No, the death to want. I mean, they're dying to want to be relevant.
They want
And
to be
Paul,
relevant
I
so
I
bad.
know, man. I definitely appreciate you for letting us know, man. We can't make the show good without you. That's why we're here. So if you're not enjoying the audio experience, then what are we doing?
And
right?
brother,
We don't want to
if
run you away.
if you're not criticizing us or giving us a hard time, where's the love? We know what they expect. You're our brother.
And
Come on.
Paul says, Chip, tell Austin serving in the military does not make you lose your sweet tooth.
No,
So
no, I still so yeah, no, trust me, I know. My pop still had a sweet tooth before he had kids, and then he shaved all his hair off, and I think that's what changed it.
right, right. Man, look, I just had Coach G from Goda just literally just followed me. I have followed him and he just followed me back. I'm
That's what I'm
about to
talking
shoot
about.
him a message right quick and see if I can get him to come on the show one day.
Come on. What'd you do, kid?
Look, man,
Hey,
I
do me a
know
favor,
this.
go blow your nose. Go.
The school in Oxford is going to have their panties in a wad for the entire off
Hmm.
season up until September 19th. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I believe Buddy Sanji when he says that Lane Kiffin and LSU will go into Oxford and put up 40 points on that team. I think, as a matter of fact, Pete Golding is not that great of a defensive coordinator. There I say it.
No, absolutely not.
And I think LSU is going to have their way with Pete Golding's defense. I know Blake Baker struggled against Ole Miss's offense and still was able to make the game competitive. Pete Golding probably gets abused in practice. So I know Lane knows how to destroy that defense. And he's got things up his sleeve that Pete Golding has yet to see or practice or prepare against. So I cannot wait to see this.
Sorry, my bad. My son was trying to talk to me, and
Paul says we should sacrifice talking about the school in North Mississippi for Lent. Look, they're only
listen,
relevant in
brother.
this moment. I have been trying to avoid you. You know it, Paul. I've been going out of my way to not talk about them. That's why I refer to them as a school in Oxford. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and it's crappy because they I don't know, man. Every time we try and get away from talking about them, they got to bring us up.
they
Every
do.
time, man. Every time. It makes no sense, you know.
Let's see.
But I mean, they even tried to that school in Oxford tried to say that they were one of the top baseball teams in the country. That's Googleable. You're not.
It's absolutely goofy. That's what it is.
Oh man,
Let's see. It's absolutely goofy. I'm sorry for the dead air. I'm
you're
looking
good.
for their defensive team stats right now.
Oh, from Pete
And
Golding's defense.
yeah,
Well, I mean, we saw
because
it enough. I mean, they had to try and argue that they should have been that one play that cost them being in the national title game or whatever it was that they said.
yeah,
Um,
a Hail Mary. Like if
Boy, if you ain't
your
Aaron
if
Rodgers,
your if your last stats, your last hope was a offensive pass interference for a Hail Mary,
goodness
you
gracious,
got to go sit down somewhere.
goodness
It's
gracious.
absolutely ridiculous. So, total defense, they gave up on average
Mm.
348 yards per game. In the red zone, opponents had a 57.8 touchdown rate. That's good. I don't
That's
think that's good.
outrageous, man. It's outrageous.
I don't think that's good at all. I don't think that's good. That's not good. 348 yards per game? Like no. Like
No. Hey,
how
on
many
a
points per game did he give up in
hey, on a
2025?
different note, for all my folks, so I'll be 30 this year, but I just saw this tweet that at Target they are dropping a 30th anniversary of Toon Squad slash Space Jam merch. So we might be getting some new merch here in a little bit. I need some Space Jam stuff. Super tangent, but um, it's just funny that that popped up on my feed tonight. So, but yeah, no. And while AP's finding the stats for that defense, that's not as good as they thought they were. Just don't forget. right? Like people, while you're in here, I know that we're in a slow time and a slow season for LSU football. It's not a slow season for LSU sports. You have gymnastics, you have softball, you have baseball, you have women's and men's. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to talk about the other basketball team, women's basketball. Um, but also remember that you kept Blake Baker, right? Blake Baker, honestly, if our offense could have kept him or our offense could have kept them off the field, that defense is a top 15, top 10 defense all around. And we don't have to worry about a lot. But our offense did not live up to the hype. They could not keep us off the field, right? The defense. And we got to retain him as well as getting the best offensive mind in the country with the best offensive coordinator in the country. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid. We're going to be
Look,
straight.
I got a guy on Twitter. He's JB. He's an Ole Miss fan. He's a good guy, man. He really is. Like there are, and notice I said Ole Miss, right? Like he's not one of the trolls that just likes to rile people up and say things to piss people off. And
Yeah.
he sent me a message saying he couldn't chat on the live on Twitter. So there he is.
Twitter
That's
is
my
down.
guy. There he goes right there. JB
Twitter is down.
Waldo,
JB
man. Thank you
Waldo.
for joining in, man. I really do appreciate you locking in, brother. And I'm glad that you're in this chat because I want your perspective on this.
Yeah.
And I want you to be honest, JB. How confident are you in Pete Golding truly being the head coach for a full season? Because looking at his defensive stats, I wouldn't be that confident. I feel like y'all could do better defensively. I'm not saying he's a bad defensive coordinator, but he's not the best either. And I think that he will be a decent head coach, but I don't think he's going to be an elite head coach. And I want to get the perspective from someone who I know is reasonable and will give me a true insight as to the real pulse of Ole Miss and not just the people who are painting powder blue, navy blue. 8 out of 10. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. My guy says 8 out of 10. Paul saying what up to JB in the chat. If y'all are not in the YouTube chat, man, y'all need to come and join us, man. It's a great time. JB says 8 out of 10. Very, very young defense that was underspent on. And that's what I was about to get to. That's exactly what I was about to point out. You know, like I know a lot of fans want to gloss over the fact that TJ Daugherty had a lot of missed tackles and he wasn't X, Y, and Z, but there's experience that y'all lost with that. That was a leader, a captain, a green dot who could put people in the right spots, and he was an SEC leading tackler. And you can't take that away from him. And then you lose your sack leader, right? And not only do you lose your sack leader, you lose a sack leader who went to a rival. Like this is a kid who wasn't a full-time starter and still had 9 sacks off the edge. So how do you truly replace that? And I know y'all are all hyped behind Luke Farrelly transferring from UCLA to Clemson and now to Ole Miss. But do you really think that he's going to be a guy that's going to, fill shoes like that? And that's the question that I have. I honestly, and I said this to Austin before you jumped in, JB, I really do feel like Ole Miss is going to end up giving up 40 points to LSU. This LSU's offense is going to be a lot more explosive than what a lot of people are considering yet. They don't know these wide receivers. They haven't seen Harlem Berry and Caden Durham really work succinctly. They've seen them both explode and make plays, right? And we just flipped the entire wide receiver room. And individually, just about every wide receiver that LSU brought in averages 19 yards a reception. That's on average.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy that plays quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over and is very explosive and dynamic. He has an elite arm and can make throws all over the field and can make a bad play a good play.
Right.
So I think that he can take advantage of that defense. And JB says that Keaton Thomas is the guy to watch for Ole Miss. He transferred from Baylor, right? Wasn't he at Baylor a couple years ago? So and look, I can see that. I can see that, but it's like that's still a lot. Like you're talking about replacing 100 tackles and 9 sacks,
Yeah,
right, in the middle of your defense,
yeah.
and that's just the two transfers. Now, granted, you still bring back Will Eccles,
Hmm.
which is a key centerpiece on the defensive line. But if he doesn't have any help off the edge, it's not going to mean anything. We saw that happen at LSU.
A
Like
hundred
Don
percent.
McKinley and Bernard Gooden were very good, solid defensive tackles. When
Right,
Gabe Rutherford went down and we didn't have consistent pressure off the edge, I mean, our leading sack getter for the team had 4.5 sacks, and it was a linebacker.
right.
Like when that happens, your interior guys are going to get double teamed a lot. So if they're
Yeah.
not generating pressure off the edge, then sorry, buddy.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't see it. And and look, I'm not trying to make this an entire, like LSU versus school in Oxford breakdown tonight, but
No, not at all.
like we got to talk about it.
Well, and I
Like we
think
got to talk
sometimes
about it.
it turns into that, right? And so I think people, outside of our boy JB, like there's a lack of realism behind all fan. I'm not just going to say Ole Miss fan bases, all fan bases, right? We love
Right.
to assume and think that we are always better than everybody else, and when we end up not being, right? This is where moments for us, podcasters, we get clipped and we get posted. Oh, they said that LSU is going to win 11 games this year, and we won 7. They said
Right.
Nussmeier was going to be a Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, you had Lee Corso come out here in his last prediction and say that LSU was going to win a national title. And that is sad that we didn't. But that shows the confidence that everybody has in a team, in a
That's it.
state, in a school that exemplifies what greatness looks like from a sports perspective. There is no other school that has the culture. I mean, even for me, I really don't wear Nike stuff anymore. Tangent, right? I don't really wear Nike stuff like that no more unless it's LSU stuff. Because of Odell, he went to LSU. Because of Jamar Chase, who also went to LSU, because of Joe Burrow and all these other guys. That's why we were. I mean, Nike got so many sales just off of us LSU fans. It's outrageous. And so think of that compared to other schools who come out and talk crazy but have never won anything. And that's no disrespect. But like, I don't know what pull you got out there, JB, but you need to tell them to take that banner off y'all stadium. And once y'all do that, I will take y'all a lot more serious. But until that day, like, it sucks because good people like you have to be a part of fan bases like that. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. With Blake Baker's defense, like I was saying, and sorry to repeat myself, but with Blake Baker's defense and Lane Kiffin's offense, I don't really think y'all understand that you beat us by 5. You beat us by 5, right? It was 24-19, I think. We had a quarterback who can't push the ball down the field. You got a defense who can't stay off the field. You had a starting linebacker who came back this year who got hurt and hurt his ankle again in that game. So just imagine if Nussmeier can throw the ball, if our O line isn't apparently supposed to gel
I'm
throughout the
glad. Hey,
season.
hold on. Let's stay
Go
right
ahead.
there. I'm not going to imagine that at all. I'm glad y'all won. Thank you. Thank you for winning.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Take it.
every one of those 6 losses we got. Thank you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Thank you
Yeah.
very much because I don't
Right.
have to suffer through another. I don't have to suffer through another offseason of Brian Kelly and wondering how we're going to come out in week 1 and why the hell he doesn't know what his team is until it's like 4 weeks into the season.
Oh, we're
And
gonna
this
get there.
year, yeah, we're working through it. You had all spring and summer to work through it, my guy. Like, cut it out. And real quick tangent. I want to say right now, this will be the last time I live stream using Riverside because Riverside is not allowing our guys to interact on the chat. And I'm sorry to my guy like Drunk Blake Baker who wants to get involved in this chat and cannot right now. And that
What?
JB had to come to the YouTube stream to get on the chat. Like
So you
I'm
want to
so
know
sorry that you
something?
guys had to. What?
YouTube. I think it has something to do with YouTube too, because YouTube was down for a little bit.
Probably. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I'm
even
not
then,
sure what it
even
is,
then.
but either way, I haven't had this issue when I use StreamYard. So I'm gonna make sure that all the live streams will come through StreamYard, and then I'll just upload to Riverside to get clips and do my post production in there. So it just is what it is. It's an extra
Okay.
step to make sure that I can get you guys involved. So thank y'all for being patient and working this through. And JB, I asked you about coming to Mardi Gras, and I'm gonna get to Perkins in a second. I asked you about coming to Mardi Gras because we started our show off talking about this. Like, this is a culmination. It's a unification. It's cultural bringing together, man. And you've been to Mardi Gras, you've seen it, you've experienced it, and this is what I love about sports. Me and JB had an interaction earlier where he posted saying that he hopes that people start bringing politics over into sports conversations because it's too messy. It deals with too much. It separates people.
Right.
Myself and JB, if politics were involved, we wouldn't talk to each other.
That's
Just
facts.
because he's an Ole Miss fan and I'm an LSU fan doesn't mean we don't have common ground to stand on, which we do.
Right.
We both know and love football. Despite
Right.
what schools we support, despite what teams we cheer for, we
Right.
know and love football and we find commonality in that. That's why we can have these exchanges right now like we're having. So when you come to Mardi Gras and I just doxed myself. LOL. I don't care though. I'm not the typical racist on the edge burner. True, true, true. I look. I'm sorry, bro. so so look this. But we had these, we had these exchanges, and it's cool because you're seeing people come together, and it happened because of one Lane locking down Louisiana Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, had Lane not left Ole Miss, and I don't mean to bring up this sore wound, but had this not transpired the way it did, would we really be sitting up here talking to
No.
JB right now? Like,
No.
if Lane would have went to Florida, they wouldn't even care about Florida. They wouldn't
Yeah.
care. They still treat them like that, like they're irrelevant because they still are irrelevant. Even with Lane, they still would have been irrelevant because Florida sucks.
Right.
But it hits different now. It
Right.
just does. And my guy Debo in the chat says now we cooking in the cooking
DBB
with
here.
gas. Drunk Blake Baker is here in the chat. Thanks for
Yes,
joining us over here,
sir.
brother. I appreciate it. So it's like we wouldn't be able to do these things like this, man. And I appreciate y'all. And Mardi Gras is it's a symbol for the state of all of
Right.
us coming together, being regardless of what you deal with, regardless
Right.
of who you are, regardless of your background, regardless of your politics, and you are sharing in this moment with us, man. And I cannot thank y'all enough for it. But now, back to what JB said about Centurion Perkins coming off the edge, and you are absolutely right about that. That is
Right.
a huge, huge, huge return for Ole Miss. But what is Centurion Perkins going to be without a running mate on the opposite side?
Yeah.
Once again, it means nothing if you can double team your star player and not have to worry about anybody else. If he doesn't have anybody to take the pressure off of him, what can he do?
Right.
Like this past season, last season, he was explosive. 2025, 41 solos, 4.5 sacks. Like, let's not do that. Let's not he's gonna have to step up for Ole Miss.
Right.
They're going to need him to at least double his sack output for them to elevate that defense and take them to where they are, because their offense is going to be there-ish. It's not going to be as explosive as it was this season. They're going to take not a significant step back, but a step back.
They're going to take a
All right?
step back, though. Yeah.
They're going to take a step back, but they are going to definitely still have some explosiveness to them. But if their defense is giving up 28 to 30 points a game, it's gonna be minute. It's gonna be Jaden Daniels going 9-3, having to put up 40 points a game to be competitive.
200 rushing
And
yards.
that's gonna be with the head coach being the defensive play caller. My guy JB again. For one, as a fan, I loved Lane for a long time, and then after being involved with the collective more, I do realize how much more of the talent is the money is being put in, and that is true. That is absolutely true. And he says, speaking about Perkins, got moved because of Prince Will coming in this year. Position change likely for Harold for position change just like Harold Perkins. So it sounds like they put him more in that star role for Prince Will. But even if they do, like what like if they move him back down on the line, like do you see that happening for him, or do they leave him in that star role? Regardless of where he is, you have a hole that you have to fill,
Right.
and I don't know if y'all have the players to fill it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like defensively, if the offense is going to take a step back, defensively there's going to be a step back as well. And Paul and DBB are making plans to have some libations, and
Hey, man.
I'm
And
looking forward to that as well. Like
oh yeah, because y'all gonna be getting together this weekend, huh? Or
so
is
it
that
was
this
so
past Sunday?
that was this past Saturday. So
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
unfortunately for everybody who didn't know, this past Saturday I was supposed to go to the box with my guys Paul and David. We're supposed to be in the suite. I was absolutely looking forward to it. And when I got dressed, talking to my wife about to leave, I blacked out, passed out. Fortunately, I wasn't out for too long, but could not go to the game. But we are gonna get back. We are gonna get together. We are planning on making that happen, and soon, because once again this is about community. And JB, man, like if I was to come to Oxford, I want to tell you right now, and this is gonna sound funny, okay? I would not mind going to the game in Oxford on September 19th.
Facts.
Would not mind, right? But I'm a black man in South Louisiana. My people barely made it out of Mississippi to begin with.
You're stupid.
Okay,
That's crazy as hell,
my my people barely made it in Louisiana to begin with. And if
brother.
y'all think I'm gonna go into Oxford, Mississippi as an LSU fan, a
Yeah,
black LSU fan, on top of that, without some assurances for my safety,
yeah, man.
mama didn't raise no fool, and I was born on a day, and yesterday damn sure wasn't it. So, JB, brother, like, can you hook your boy up with some assurances that I'll make it in and out alive? And if so, I love to sit down and have a drink with you.
Hey,
You know,
man, and
I
I ain't
come
gonna
there
lie.
in peace.
This is the thing too, bro. I literally know a D line. I met a D lineman 2 years ago while I was in Phoenix doing my training for my job. Dude used to play D line at Ole Miss back in the day when they played against like Leonard Fournette and them. And I had been hitting him, and we've been talking about me going to a game down there and everything. Went went blackout quiet once Lane Kiffin left and came to LSU. I ain't heard from him since. And so I ain't
Of
going to a
course,
game. I
of
was like,
course,
hey
of
man,
course, of
I may
course.
have to not wear a LSU shirt, but I got it tatted on me. So, it ain't gonna change nothing. And I might be on the sidelines with you, but it ain't gonna be fun for y'all when we win. So I ain't heard nothing from him since.
My
I know
my
he's
God, my God, JV says, "Dog, there's so many black people up here. Don't believe that narrative. Lafayette County is a primarily black school. All right. Look. That's one thing of itself, right? Like like I said earlier, we're very territorial people. Like that's y'all people over there, all right? How do I know that me coming? I'd have to wear like neutral colors. I can't stand out. Or I'd have to like adapt wearing a powdered blue shirt for the day, and I ain't doing that because I don't want to have to blend in. JB's asking Austin, what's that lineman's name? What's that lineman's name? Piersley, thanks you for joining us tonight, man. Thank you so much, brother. I really do appreciate you
so
being
it's
here. As you say, Oxford sucks eggs.
Ross 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 Donnelly is his name. I met him at a party. Matter of fact, I got a video of people jumping off the roof into the pool at the party from 2 years ago when I was in Phoenix. And I was just chilling, man. You got a Christian dude who don't drink, listens to worship music from time to time, just sitting there in a chair, just chilling. And I'm drinking a Sprite. Everybody else is getting drunk. So, I'm just in there, man. We was just representing. So, but yeah, no, we was just kicking it. And matter of fact, this is how it went. So, tangent time. But we were
Do
kicking
you
it,
think?
sitting there in the pool chairs, and he looked over and he saw I had a LSU tattoo. And I'm like, he's like, oh man, you went to LSU? I was like, nah, man, my cousin played there, passed away some years ago, whatever. And so he's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I played at Ole Miss. I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Whatever. It's Ole Miss. I don't like Ole Miss. I never have. Right. Um, and he's just like, we're just chopping it up. Good dude. He's a pilot now, matter of fact. But yeah, man, it's just there's good people everywhere. He's like, man, I remember when Leonard Fournette was running all over us, bro. We was trying, but we couldn't do nothing. And he's like, I even got to tackle the man. I got a sack on so and so, and this and that and whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cool, bro. But like at the end of the day, um, yeah, that's good,
Man, that's
brother.
huge,
That's good.
brother.
That's what I'm
That's
talking about.
good.
I have
Like,
a very that's man, that's huge.
like not to cut you off.
You're good.
I didn't battle addiction or anything, but like when first of all, I am a devout Christian. Like
Yeah.
I love the Lord. God is my witness. Like I have Jesus' face tattooed on my leg because that's what I stand on his
Right.
death. If it
Right.
wasn't for him dying, I wouldn't be able to stand, plain and simple. So I am unapologetic about my belief. But when I see people who share those similar stories, who like don't drink, who are believers and are just here just to have a good time, like
Right.
this is what this is all about. Like this is exactly what this is all about. And like JB says, dude, if you don't like go around flipping people off, nobody's gonna bother you. Just the average trash talk and booze. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's not what y'all burners on X are saying. Y'all talking about
Yeah,
throwing
bro.
bottles and rocks.
I mean, you
Like,
got
can
people
I?
talking about people's kids and their families. Like, come on,
Right, like
bro.
should I even cross the state line for Mississippi when it's September? Like, is it gonna be safe to do that?
Brother.
Like, I mean, come on. And Paul, I did not forget about that. I'm going to be there. And look, John Blake Baker's letting us know in the chat right now. Oxford is gonna be Kandahar for LSU fans on September 19th. I'm telling you,
That's
JB, like
wild.
this is what we're feeling. Like this is exactly what we're
It's gonna
feeling
be.
right now. Like
I mean, we're
it's
worried we're
gonna
gonna
be
get golf
crazy.
balls and eggs and stuff thrown at us, bro.
Yeah, they
Worse
talking
than
about
worse than Tennessee back in the day,
right. They're talking about getting mustard bottles again. Like what?
bro.
What?
Somebody sprays me with mustard, it's going down. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, I don't even want to put myself.
No, I'd rather not.
I don't even want to put myself into that. He said, "Don't
Cause
listen to them, man. They're all 130 pounds and high behind the
hey, man, yeah, well,
burner."
Jesus Walks is gonna start playing in the background when I get a hold of. They throw some mustard, put some mustard on me. I ain't playing. Listen,
No, you're not lying
thou
at all.
thou who shalt throw the first stone. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
My guy, DVB says, "I want that smoke." Look,
Hey, we gonna be right there with you.
look, I don't know, Austin. I'm telling you right
Hey,
now, man.
man, if Drunk Bake Baker said, "Hey, come down to Oxford, let's go to the game," I'm gone. My wife knows. I'll miss a couple days. I'll miss a couple days.
Look, DB, if you're extending that invitation, and like if we
Let's
gonna
get
roll,
in
we
there.
gonna roll, we gonna
Yeah,
roll.
we're gonna be. I'm
JB
wearing
says in
all
the
black.
chat. JB says in the chat. Now they might throw it at Lane, but not you guys. Now
Oh well.
that's absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. Um, Ignore the wannabe 6 foot kid that just walked behind my camera. He's a bum. One of my broke best friends. But no, man, like they're planning on doing some stuff, and I know they might try to target Lane, but I want to make sure I don't catch any crosshairs. I don't want to get nobody's crosshairs. I don't want no strays coming my way at all. But like I said, I think in order for a team to rise, especially in the SEC, another team has to fall. And when I look at where the SEC is right now, and I'm just projecting forward, the two teams on my list to fall first are Ole Miss and Vanderbilt.
Yeah, 100%. Vandy,
Ole Miss
Vandy
and
should have
Vanderbilt.
never been up there in the first place.
I mean, look,
They worked hard for it, though.
credit
I
to
ain't gonna
Clark
lie.
Lee, man.
Yeah, that O
Credit to
line is
Clark Lee,
killer.
man.
Yeah,
Like Clark Lee coached his ass off.
he
That
did.
O line played so good.
He did.
Like Paul in the chat. DVB and myself in Oxford, Kandahar don't scare me, partner.
Hey, hey, Paul is worse than Paul Walker in Fast and Furious 2. Hey,
Yeah,
don't worry. Hey,
definitely,
don't worry about it,
definitely.
cuz.
Hey, don't worry about it, cuz y'all need to make that drive for that.
That's
Look,
what I'm talking about, Paul.
it's sounding more and more enticing. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie, and I
I
think
ain't gonna lie
if we
to
can
you.
get a
Come
good
on,
group of us out there, I think we can make it a
make it
good time.
rolling.
And look, JB, like I said, I'd love to meet you if we come out there, brother. And at least have a drink. I know if you're standing with us, we gonna be all right. We gonna get a
Yeah,
buddy pass. So just like if you like next season when y'all have to come to Baton Rouge, man, hit me up. I plan on being there for that game. I've been here for the last two, right? So hit me up, man. I love to meet you in person. And when I say have a drink, I mean a Sprite or root beer. I don't drink at all. I haven't had a drink myself. And like I said, I wasn't even dealing with addiction. I just don't like to drink.
yeah.
That's not
I'll
my
have a
cup of tea.
Moscow Mule with you. That's about it. It's a
Like
sophisticated
so,
man's drink.
this is what I drink here: a bottle of water. Got my Popeyes cup because I was being real New Orleans today. So like hit us up. I don't see Ole Miss falling. I've got to know Pete, and I know how smart he is when it comes to this. He knows how to coach and is gaining star power. Look, I once again, I'm from Louisiana. I'm close to Baton Rouge, right? And if any fan base is standing here and they don't have faith in their staff and their administration going into the season, they're already dead in the water.
Yeah.
They're already dead in the water. So
That's
you should have hope right now.
Paul. That's crazy. Paul, stop it, brother. Hey, man.
Brother, men in dresses try killing me, and I respect them. Polo shirts are identifiers.
And polo shirts, khaki shorts, and Sperry's, and
Khaki
they still got
shorts and
Nike socks
Sperry's.
on.
Crazy
They're
work,
worse.
bro.
They're worse than me in a Facebook photo from high school. Okay, and I'm talking
Crazy
about
work,
freshman
man.
year, first day.
Crazy
Come on,
work,
man.
man.
That's
Crazy work,
crazy,
man.
brother. That's crazy.
So, like I was saying, like
Crazy.
you should have, you should have that faith right now. But I saw some games in that playoff. I saw some things in that playoff game that had me kind of concerned.
Right.
Some decision making from the top.
Right.
And look, it's not to say that Pete Golding has not and should not improve.
Right.
But are we really expecting this offense to come out and ball the way it did last year without the orchestrator of that offense?
Yeah, and I think it needs to be mentioned too. Yes, you guys got an offensive and you guys got an offensive coordinator that worked under Lane Kiffin prior to, if I'm not mistaken, Charlie's been with him for a minute, but prior to Charlie taking over OC responsibilities, right? So I understand the belief, but the problem is that you have a defensive minded head coach who couldn't keep his best players because he was doing shicey stuff behind the scenes from a money perspective, right? So as much as I understand your perspective and I respect that you love Pete and you think Pete's going to do great things, right? But like Pete was pulling some stuff off that he did at Alabama that is now coming out and it's very clear that it was real. And so like Ed O said, of course now we get to pay people through the front door, not through just the back door. But like y'all's OC isn't Lane Kiffin.
Right. Like OC wasn't Lane Kiffin, and now it was Charlie Weiss, and he's gone, and the rest of the offensive staff, for that matter, is gone as well. And it's going to feel different. It's going to operate different. It's not going to be as smooth, you know. And Paul said, drunk Blake Baker said, and they all have the same damn haircut. Pearsley said, I don't sports gamble, but I'd honestly consider putting money on the under of whatever Ole Miss's win total is. I'm kind of with you on that, and I want to see the Vegas lines on that right now. Uh, DBB says drunk Blake Blaker was says six pack Pete was a panic hire, and they love Pete like we loved BK. We had to, and it's true. Like we had to buy in to BK. Like when we first, I'll never forget when I first got the news. Um, when I first got the news that LSU was getting Brian Kelly. Um, I was more like I wasn't excited, but I wasn't mad. I was optimistically indifferent. And let me explain that for a reason. I couldn't feel good and I couldn't feel bad either. I could only just feel like, hey, there's a chance for it to be better. Did I ever expect the wheels to fall off the way that they did this year? No. However, once I saw how we came out in Jaden Daniels' second season, that's when I started losing faith. Because you mean to tell me for 2 years in a row you are not preparing this team to identify its strengths and weaknesses in fall camp and coach to that? That is a coaching problem, sir. That's a fireable offense on its own. And then it happened again. It happened again.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool at all.
So JB, since I see what you're saying, brother, but tell me this. Do you think that Pete was their number one candidate outside of Lane Kiffin? Honestly, because he wasn't. I know that I just changed the subject, but like I'm looking at your comment and you're talking about Prince Will was a Lane guy, right? So for weeks, I'm talking about for weeks, the narrative was pushed until they jumped on off the sip and they came over. It was pushed that no defensive players are going to leave. Nobody wanted to play for Lane Kiffin other than one wide receiver. There was one receiver on their team who was a 5-star who almost left, but he was teetering too much back and forth, so they didn't offer him anymore. Right? They
Hey,
stopped
wait
talking
a
to him.
minute. This is new.
What?
And JB, I appreciate you saying this. And he says right here, I can say that I talked to the collective board and they were ready to move on from Lane at the end of the year. Now, my question to that is, was that was that culmination of that decision based on the fact that they knew he was going to leave? Like once he turned down the extension, was it like, okay, like let's just cut dry and move on? Like after Egg Bowl, you're done? Or was that like, all right, Florida's bubbling, LSU's bubbling. We like I'm sick of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes that people aren't aware of, and let's just find our guy and move on. Because then, if that's the case, I'm not gonna sit up. I'm not gonna lie, JB. If that's the case, if that's the case, and the ultimate decision was to go with a guy who's never been a head coach before and has only been a mid-tier defensive coordinator, that's a
Right.
piss poor management by the athletic director and the board. When they had some really good coaches out here this cycle.
Yeah, and the collective ultimately, I mean, yes, they do fund the roster and things, but they don't make the decision. So it sounds like the athletic director made it a point to say it to the public media multiple times. Well, the offer's been on his desk. The offer's been there. The offer's been there, right? So if that's the case, and I believe everything that you're saying. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I'm
I believe everything
I
that you're
have
saying.
right. I
But
trust
like
you, JB. I do.
it's more of the point that most of your fan base is not willing to agree to this stuff and stand behind this. They want to make it this narrative that Lane's the villain or that Lane Kiffin is the person who jumped off the boat, right? If they were pushing him out the door anyways for all the good things that he had done for y'all, the fact that he got y'all to I'm sorry, but he got you to the playoffs. He did what needed to be done to go past the shortcomings of Pete Golding's defense, right? So and push through all the things that he had to deal with. So my question honestly is like if Lane was getting pushed out the building, why'd y'all villainize him? Why'd you go to the airport and scream at him and cuss his
You
kids
can't
out?
control. You
All
can't
that. You
control
can't
what
control
what
people,
what
stupid people,
what the
right? Right,
fanatics
true.
do. Like we
But
can't control that. Like
that's
they
just
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. Like, accept it, right?
And I can tell. Like and not to cut you off, Austin. I can
You
tell
good, bro?
like from how JB is handling things. Like he wasn't one of. And even in our
He's
interactions, like
such a
he's not one of those guys.
he's a good
Like
dude.
like 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 one of the like the guys who actually have knowledge of things that are going on. They don't react the
No,
way that the
not
trolls
like
were
that.
reacting, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they know how things are moving, so they're just kind of just like laying back in the cut, and it's like, all right, cool, whatever it is.
yeah.
And DBB brings up a good point. Like I know a major member of the Grove Collective, and in no way were they going to fire Lane, independent of him wanting to leave. And of course, his buyout was too
They
big.
had no
I mean, we're not
basis
just
to
going to
do it.
give you, we're not going to give you free money to do so. But that doesn't also mean that because Lane was ready to leave, that they weren't going to recommend, hey, look, you got these big offers. It might be
Take
that
it.
time.
Yeah, take it.
So, and I wasn't one of those people in those rooms. I cannot say that at all. But what I can say is,
Yeah.
if Lane was getting these job offers and he had an extension on his desk, because that's what we were told from everybody, even
Right.
from Keith Carter, the fan base was completely bought in on Lane signing for year 7. That was the model up until the end of November.
Right.
Year 7, year 7, year 7, year 7, until it became clear from Lane's own actions that he was not going anywhere. I mean, that he was not staying. So if that was the case, if that was the case, and
uh,
Pete Golding had the first interview and John Summerall was the first outside guy, then what? Why?
yeah. Did I sign a non-binding MOU?
And JB says Lane did sign a non-binding MOU originally, but never signed the extension. Obviously, so at first he was saying he was ready to stay, but action showed otherwise. Obviously, he did the
So
same everywhere. He signed a non-binding MOU at Ole Miss. He signed one at Florida, and he signed one at LSU. That's just a term sheet. That's saying, yeah, I like these numbers. So let's get
yeah.
the other deals hammered out so we can agree to a contract. And I
Right.
want to know X, Y, and Z before I actually agree. I'm cool on the numbers front, right? Like if I'm negotiating a contract, I'm gonna do the same thing too. Like, yeah, these numbers look good, but I need to know like what's my schedule, like what's my vacation pay, like what's my medical benefits. Like I need to know all this stuff up front before I go full in. It's like negotiating a lease,
Yeah.
right? Like
100%.
I sign a LOI, but I don't have the lease to term yet.
And I want to
Like
take not $300 off my rent too. Matter of fact, while you're talking about it.
right. Pearsley said they were so mad they brought babies out in the cold to boo him getting on the plane. Oh no, that's the fanatic side of being a fan, and
And
that's the sad part of being a fan, because that's not what being a fan is supposed to be,
no, yeah.
right?
I
Like we
mean, yeah,
like at the end of the day, I don't know the things that JB's been privy to.
yeah,
All right, he says he knows some things that happen behind the scenes. Cool, right? But I do know this: when it came to down to this man doing his job, he did it at an elite level. He brought y'all to 11-1, put y'all in the playoffs, and y'all went from there. I also know that when Corey Adams died, that man took the time out of his day to come down to New Orleans and show up for this family, for this community.
yeah,
And I know that personally because I was standing right behind him in line.
yeah.
And this happened in the summer before any of this Brian Kelly getting fired, Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss was a thing. So, as far as the character of a man that y'all may know him to be, we don't know him like that. Me personally, I know him as a man who showed up for a kid's family
Yeah.
after a tragic incident to physically be present when I know he wasn't the person who was leading his recruitment, and he wasn't even his coach. Yep, exactly. JB said I think Lane got what he wanted, the blue blood job he's been chasing. Ole Miss got a coach that's locked in. Oxford and a way better mind than gets credit for. Last year's defense was a great example. So, and I think that's what Ole Miss needed, was the guy who wanted to be at Ole Miss, not the guy who wanted to make Ole Miss good. Lane always wanted to make Ole Miss good,
Yeah.
because making Ole Miss good means that he's good,
Yeah.
means that he can move on to the next step. Pete wants to be at Ole Miss. There's a difference in that. And I think that even regardless of the results of this season, because of how Pete Golding is approaching this, that administration and fan base, and we can see it now, are going to give him a lot of grace.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting away with. We all know everybody's getting away with tampering, but he's getting away with major cases of tampering because he wants to do what's right for Ole Miss, right? So I don't know. I mean, Lane Kiffin did it, right? Like Lane Kiffin came in. He's been there for 6 years. He made the school. He made the football program what he wanted it to be, which was, top of the line to an extent while he was there, right? To find the right job. I mean, the dude's been in job rumors for what, 2, 3 years now, right? And
Yep.
so, it was just the right opportunity. Like, what grown man, honestly, what grown man takes his teenage daughters and his ex-wives and all these other people's advice to factual data and allows him to hold himself back from potentially I wouldn't say better jobs. I don't know if Auburn is a better job. I think that they've been a better historically overall program whenever it comes to football than Ole Miss, but um, it doesn't make it a better job. And one thing I was going to say too is there was a comment that you made too. It says, no, this was a couple of days before the Egg Bowl. Walker Jones was very sick of him. There was a ton of arguments being, and I'm not going to finish it, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were frustrated by the fact that Lane would not say, no, I'm not going. They're frustrated by the fact that Lane would not publicly come out and say, hey, I'm not really worried about those other jobs to an extent, right? I'm not going to take them. I'm staying at Ole Miss. So I understand their frustration and them wanting to move on. It had a lot to do with them. It was more of a PR, in my opinion, PR for themselves to keep things at bay, to create a narrative against Lane that he was the person who made the choice. He was the one who was the bad guy, right? Like, so I will say I know AP said it a lot. Uh, JB, you're dropping some insight in here, brother. Like, I have a mad respect for you, and you're probably the one Ole Miss fan I have mad respect for outside of some friends and family that have gone to that school. But dude, you're dropping bombs in here, man. Like it's amazing. I mean, you're dropping real insight. So and Lane is a great coach. You know,
Yeah, JB says it
yeah,
right here. Lane's a
yeah,
phenomenal coach and a
phenomenal
top
coach.
5 mind of all
Yep.
time. No arguing. And you're right. I think Pete has the potential to do phenomenal things. The collective
If they
has the
give
money.
him the money.
Look,
Yep. If they give him the
I,
money.
I think so too. But right now, it's going to be a prove it year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And JB also says, I do know that Knox did not want to leave as well and cried on coach's shoulders after the playoff loss. Yeah, we saw that. I remember seeing some photos of that like slip out. And I can understand. I mean, it's a 16-year-old kid who's got to get uprooted and move to a whole new town,
Yeah,
play
has
on
to
a
go
whole
to a
new
new
school.
school.
Like that's
Yep. Leave
yeah, a
his
whole new
friends.
surrounding. Yeah, of
The good
course.
thing is
Like
it's only Mississippi. It's not like he left and went that far.
right.
You
He
know?
didn't leave and go to Cali, so at least they're still close.
Right.
But even with that, like I get it. But I mean, when like you said, this is the blue blood job.
Yep.
And you can't tell Lane right now that he made the wrong decision
Right.
because of the results that he saw in the portal.
Yeah.
Like he came in and he absolutely crushed it. And if anybody says that he didn't, they're just being biased.
Yeah.
They're being biased against him. He absolutely crushed it. And I think for what Ole Miss had to deal with, Pete Golding did a solid job too. I just look. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the SEC, and when you're seeing teams that are going to rise, Vanderbilt's going to fall. I think Ole Miss is going to take a step back, and I think Bama's going to take a step back too. Both guys got so much to improve. Imagine we both go 6-6 and Vandy wins it all. That would be wild. You talk about crazy. Oh my God.
Don't ever wish
Oh
that.
my God.
Don't ever wish
Oh
that on
my.
us.
I'm gonna
That's
say
messed
that
up.
one more time. Both guys have so much to prove. Talking about Lane and Pete. Imagine we both, Ole Miss and LSU, go 6-6 and Vandy wins it all.
Ain't gonna happen.
That would be absolutely insane. You want to talk about living a bizarro world?
Bro, I don't think Vandy will win a championship in my lifetime.
I hope not.
I don't think they will.
That's
Nice
that's
school.
we're
They're a
talking
school for
about
doctors.
we're
That's
talking
it.
about legitimate nerds.
Yeah, they're like the Harvard of the SEC. Like,
Yeah,
come
they
on.
they
Yeah.
are they're the reason that our academic prestige stays so high for the conference.
Yeah. Because if it
That's why
wasn't
we
for
can never
them,
get
we'd
rid
be
of them.
screwed. Yeah,
That's why we
bro.
can't never get rid of them.
No.
Like if they, oh my God,
They will
yo,
produce great O lines. As long as Clark Lee's there, their O lines will be great. That's it.
they that statement has me shooketh, sir.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
not
not
gonna
do that
lie.
ever again.
Let's
Hey
not.
guys, thank y'all for joining once again. I want to make sure that y'all take the time out and subscribe to both our YouTube channels.
Yep.
We've been going at this now for almost 2 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's 9:13.
Oh dude.
So and look, I still got to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
JB,
Same.
man, I sent you a DM on Twitter. Check that. I want to lock in with you on some stuff, bro. Um, and I can't thank you enough for joining the stream tonight, man. And you too, drunk Blake Baker. Like I said, from now on, I'm gonna make sure to use I'm gonna make sure to use Streamyard so that way you guys can interact in the chat properly. And you don't have to worry about switching over platforms. I want to make sure y'all are
Same.
comfortable because this is about y'all.
Yeah.
This is about y'all, and I can do all my post production on Riverside. So don't. That's just an extra step for me, and I don't care about that because that's what I've been doing lately anyway.
Yeah.
So I cannot thank y'all. Y'all made this stream so much fun, so interactive. We didn't really know where it was gonna go, but this is
Yeah.
exactly what Mardi Gras goes. You
That's
come
what we needed.
outside, you go to a parade. You don't know what you're gonna leave out the parade with. We left out with an amazing show, breaking down the future prospects and some of the past transactions that we didn't know that was happening between Ole Miss and LSU. This was a great show.
Yeah.
So Pearsley, Drunk Blake Baker, Paul, JB, all y'all that's in the chat, like thank y'all so much for streaming with us live tonight. I can't
100%.
get to all y'all, and make sure that y'all hit the subscribe button because this won't be the be the last one at all. And
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Hey, let me tell you something. So, two things, right? They don't play in the SEC. Their strength of schedule is not even top 15. Stop it.
so
Vandy
what
has
Austin
to,
is responding
man.
to
Oh my
is the
gosh.
chat that JB said, bro. Indy
JB,
just
I
had
need
a
you to
perfect
follow
season.
me on Twitter, and I need you to DM me as well. Because you're gonna have me on Twitter all night worried that somehow, some way, shape, or form, something crazy in the world's gonna happen, and Vanderbilt's gonna win a national title in the next couple of years. If that happens, I owe you. We got to figure out what I owe you, but I owe you something.
I'm so depressed.
Me too. If we live in a world where there is
I'm so
a
depressed.
gold
You know
and a
what?
black and gold team other than the Saints winning the championship, we got some stuff
You
to
say you
talk
locked
about.
in on 220. Well, guess what? You're making me eat another piece of this king cake.
You never finished it?
Mm-mm,
Oh, I finished mine like it was nothing, bro.
mm-mm. I'm sad eating now.
Listen, well, you
It's
know
your
what,
fault,
with that,
JB.
JB, with that being said, brother, that is one way to put us out of our misery tonight. No, I'm just playing. But hey, I appreciate all of y'all for joining. Sorry for the same thing. Sorry for the issues that we've been having with Riverside. AP is going to have to teach me some things with StreamYard. I've never used it, but I will be doing the same thing because
Oh
I will
no,
not allow
definitely.
this to be a problem for y'all in the future, and continue to help a brother out. Subscribe, like, subscribe. I am active on TikTok as well, so go and hit that follow button on TikTok and like some of those videos, repost to your friends and family. It's free. It doesn't take much, right? So if y'all don't mind, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. If you're having trouble finding it, go follow me on Twitter. My Twitter app for my other Twitter account, my podcast Twitter account is below, but my other one is just my first and last name. So keep it up. Keep up the good work. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all for all the comments,
Th-
and we appreciate everything.
Thank y'all so much, man. Y'all have a good night, and I will be back on tomorrow night with my guys Paul and David as
Oh, I'm
we
looking forward
do
to
a little
that.
post game for the Nickel State game tomorrow night, and
Looking
we
forward
set
to
us
that.
up for the weekend against the school that just had a perfect season, Indiana, on
Mm.
Friday. Yeah. Thanks, JB, for
DTA.
killing. Thanks, JB, for killing the vibe. Fortunately, it's still Mardi Gras. It's just Tuesday everywhere else. So
It's Mardi Gras.
vibes are
That's right.
high to the
Yes, sir.
moon. Love y'all. God bless y'all. Be safe wherever.